Hey everybody, what is going on? It is DJ, and today I'm going to be showing you guys the second to last set that I need to do for Diablo 3 Reapers of Souls on the PS4. Now this is just a quick brief little look of what it looks like on the Facebook page. I did post a picture of what it looks like just to give you guys a little bit of excitement. I was working on this set for a while, but then I realized, I can't just have the set for this character. So, with that being said, let's get into it. So you can see there's a few different things that's going on here. We got three different weapons. We got a weapon as a knife, a sword, and we got a bow. So real quickly, I'm going to talk about why that is. Basically, I didn't do a set, just a random set, and put a few things together. What I did was I actually built a build. Like, I put a little build together in my mind, and that is what this character has built into it. So everything that I show you in this video, you will need with this character to get the 100% build that I created this set around. So without further ado, let's get into it. So we have the bow. Okay, now as you can see, the bow's got damage and everything like that, but it's also got the multi-shot attacks 50% faster, but what's really awesome is it reduces all resource costs by 48%, which is a good deal, great help in terms of using your resource abilities. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Elemental Arrow is one of those such skills, so it helps you use that more often. But the sword, now we have the sword here. Now the reason why we have the sword is because we're going to get into the first set piece, which is the Shadows Mantle set. And if you pay close attention to the set bonuses, it does state that while you have a melee weapon equipped, your damage is increased by 1,200%. That is the whole purpose of having this sword, is so that if you want to use a sword to gain that extra damage, you can use the sword. If you want to use the bow and just continue to use the bow, that's up to you. There is no harm done in that. So the Envious Knife, or Blade, I should say, either way, it doesn't really matter, it's the same thing, just worded different. You'll notice it has nothing great on it. It's actually on my junk, just so I can tell the difference. But it does have the gain a 100% critical hit chance against enemies at full health. Now the reason why that is because the same for this cloak here, the Cloak of Gorewolf, and where was it? There was another one. There was a ring, a Royal Ring of Grandeur. I put it in my stash, but we can pull that out right now, actually. So here is the ring. So between the ring, the cloak, and the the knife, there we go, those three will go in the power slots. That way you can basically, the blade is going to, of course, give you the 100% critical hit chance against enemies at full health. In other words, realistically, you can most likely one-shot kill everything. The companion, now, we'll get into why you need the companion in a little bit, because you're probably wondering, well, you're using Shadow's Mantle, why does it matter? But we'll get into that in just a moment. But you're going to need that, so it gives you the three wolves. And then the Royal Ring of Grandeur, or Ring of Royal Grandeur, it's really weird how it's worded. That is to help you with the Shadow's Mantle set, because if you look closely, we're only using three pieces of the set, and we still have the 4 set bonus, so that we can do the shadow power gains the effect of every ruin and lasts forever, so that you can get that extra pair of wings and you can constantly have them out, and it looks really awesome, especially when you combine different wings with them. It looks absolutely outstanding, and then you can show off and be like, yeah, I got 2 different pairs of wings on. But yeah, guys, so that is the whole Shadow's Mantle weapon slash bow slash power area in that. So the next thing we got is the belt. Now the belt is made specifically to, of course, bring up your damage and all of that fun stuff, but to increase your run speed so you can move a lot faster in rifts. And basically, if you wanna race somebody or whatever, you can always use this belt to gain you that extra boost. As long as you are constantly moving. So of course you do lose it after you take damage, but if you're killing things before you do that, then you're perfectly fine. And as you sit here in town, you'll notice that I move really fairly quick as it is without any skills. She looks like she's running a marathon. That is the reason why. So getting into, we just did the belt, so you'll notice that this set is indeed different. Now you see it's got, you know, of course the damage, dexterity, all that fun stuff, and then it's got passives. Now that is the same for the boots. The boots also have 2 passives on them. So these 4 passives you don't need to use in your passive list because they don't stack, so you can use different passives. The passive you don't necessarily need to keep the same as me, but if you want the same exact build and the same exact setup and everything to do what I show you, then you will need everything to be the same, including the skills, because there's a reason behind that. But getting back to the set, now you're going to notice that it is the Marauders set, and if you look closely, we have 2 of them, which is the boots and the pants, and it gives us our companions, which is just so happens to be our skill, which is our square button here. That, and combined with that cloak, we now can receive the maximum number of companions that we would like. So that is the whole purpose behind the 2 different sets, the weapons, and now we're going to get into the shoulders. The shoulders, basically the only thing unique about the shoulders is that it prevents your items from breaking or destroying. So if you die and it tells you that you lose 10% durability, you don't, because you can't lose it because they're indestructible. So that is the whole purpose behind that. And you're also, guys, you're probably going to wonder why I don't have dexterity gems in the items. That is because the dexterity is already high as it is. So adding a little bit of resist all items or elements in there doesn't do so bad for your character in terms of bringing up your resistances and things like that. So we just went over, there's basically bringing up more of your stats with the chest piece. Now the helmet does have the diamonds that gives it the 33% cooldown, but it also has another 10% of the resource cost reduction built into it as well. So that gives you like that extra boost so you can use your skills more often and things like that. Getting into the amulet. Now you're going to notice there's a lot of interesting stuff. We got the damage, dexterity, vitality, resist all, life per second is not that high, but there's a reason behind it. And then you got this plus 271 to all attributes. You're probably wondering what in the world is that? Well, basically you can't see it on my character, but if you look at on the left of the screen, you'll see the 10 comma dot 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 strength, dexterity, intelligence, and vitality. Basically, with a regular character, the plus 271 to all attributes will increase those attributes and actually make them a blue color rather than a white color. So that's just a quick little thing there. I'm not going to go into all the legendary gems because they're all pretty self-explanatory. Basically, they help you with damage and keep you alive and things in rifts. So that's not too very you don't need a big description on that. The bracers go with the belt because they are the set. They are the Krem's Buff Bulwark set. Basically, these also give you the immune to knockback and stun effect, but also with the 2-stat bonus you get plus 500 vitality. So it helps you once again survive in greater rifts and whatever you're doing in terms of killing monsters and fun stuff like that. And also killing your friends, you can do that too. Just be careful because they do tend to strike back. Okay, so you're going to notice that these 2 quivers are the same. However, they aren't the same. They have the same stats, same everything except for the transmog. Now the reason for that is because the bow that we're currently using is transmog to look like the Raven's Wing, to basically have that 2-in-1 bow transmog look that you see here. However, if you're a sword user and you use the sword instead of the original bow, and you want to do something a little different with your character, you can either keep the bow quiver on, or you can put this quiver on, which dual wields the swords, and it looks absolutely out freaking standing. Now it does slice your damage into a bit of a half here. However, it does look cool. Looks like something you could really show off, and she looks absolutely badass, if I don't say so myself. She looks like a Harley Quinn that's just gonna run around and just stab everybody that she sees. So that is the whole purpose behind the different the weapons and in the quivers. So it's just something cool to do, something a little bit different that you can do. So getting into the... Oh, okay, there we go. Okay, getting into the rings now. So this ring, of course, so you can do Greater Rift 150s and things of that nature. It does have the 1,000,000,000% physical skill damage with some extra damage and life per hit. And basically, most of the gems in this help you increase your damage. There's the gem, the Enforcer, that increases the damage of your pets. And your pets take 90% less damage, which is awesome. And then this ring also reduces cooldown and reduces resource cost by the early 30%, which is always awesome. And then finally, the last ring that we have is, of course, the test ring 516 with a bunch of damage and life and things to keep you alive. But also, at the very bottom, you can see, of course, that it keeps you alive and restores you to 100% of your maximum life. And then you have the 20% chance on kill to clear all staggered damage, which is part of one of the gems. And then, of course, it's got a little bit of cooldown or resource cost reduction. Not much, because, of course, we do have the bow, which also does that. So I didn't put a whole lot into it in terms of that. And then finally, for the cosmetics, we have the wings of Kabail. I don't know how to say them, I'm sorry. Kakabail, something like that. And then we have Overseer Lady Josephine as our beautiful, beautiful Ted the teddy bear. So that is the build, guys, and that is the explanation for each individual piece, including the cube powers in terms of what you need for those. The passives, like I said, you can use whichever ones, but these ones seem to be like the best ones in my opinion to go with it. And then the skills, these basically all increase your movement speed. And then, what is this one? Actually increases your discipline. So you can constantly use, you can use Volt and things like that. Because I believe those use discipline, if I'm not mistaken. Of course, there it is, 8 discipline. We have the companions to help you on your journey, kill some enemies, all that fun stuff. And of course we got Shadow Power, which gives you that extra pair of wings, makes it look really cool, especially with different colors of wings that you can combine together. It looks absolutely amazing. And then we have the Elemental Arrow, which goes with the quiver, and you can use either one of them. I just like this one here because they actually leech life off of enemies, and it looks really weird but interesting at the same time. So yeah, guys, so that is the Hazardous set / build setup for the Hazardous Demon Hunter. That's a lot of hazardous in one sentence. I've been waiting to bring this out, but I couldn't get everything the way I wanted it, and I finally did. So anyways, guys, thank you for watching. If you would like this set and the build setup, just add me on PlayStation. I will get back to you as soon as I can, guys. So thank you for watching, and until next time, guys, peace out.